こんにちは。
Hello,
I'm Dalton, ダルです。
I'm Aoi, Aoi です。こちらはバイリンガル形式でポッドキャストをお届けいたします。
Yay! What are we talking about today?
今日は私たちの大好きな呪術廻戦についてお話しいたします。
I don't know if I would say 大好き, but it's pretty good.
嘘
It's not as good as like Hunter x Hunter.
マジでギャップが生じております。ここで私は一番いいと思う。
一番? The best anime you've ever seen?
まだ4つとかしか見たことないけどその中でランキングで1位。
Well, so for those of you who haven't seen it,
呪術廻戦
Jujutsu Kaisen is a shonen manga and anime that is about, well,
少年ジャンプ。
Yeah. Do you want to share a little bit about what it's about?
こちらはですね、東京を拠点とした男の子のお話で、人間が負の気持ちとかそういう人間が持つマイナスな気持ちから生まれるモンスターを倒す生徒たち、学校のお話なんですよ。合ってますかこちらで。
Yeah.
よし。
I mean, obviously it has a lot of different intricacies and points to
Yeah.
exactly what's going on, but that's basically the idea.
You can explain in English.
Yeah, so essentially it follows a group of students in Tokyo who attend Jujutsu High School, and they fight curses, which are these monsters or beings that come into existence from the negative feelings or emotions of humans. So, you know, a lot of people who say don't like being in school, a large group of students who consistently feel a negative emotion at a school or in a hospital or around a graveyard or anything will eventually, like that psychic energy will collect and then manifest a monster.
はい。
And then these people are basically sorcerers who have learned how to manipulate that type of energy within themselves and use it for good to fight monsters.
そう、その呪術師っていう人たちはそのモンスターが見えてて、普通の人は見えないんだけど、そのモンスターを自分自身のそれぞれの技で戦って倒していくっていうそのストーリーの中で、今でもまだ常に毎週一つのエピソードが更新されていってるんだけど、ハマるんだよね、このアニメは。
Yeah, so how did you first hear about it and see it?
最初見た時は謎ばかりで、説明ができないぐらい。
Yeah. Well, you don't want to give any netabare to people that are still
Yeah, I
reading or
know.
watching it.
That's why I didn't say anything.
Okay, good.
But there's so many cool characters じゃない？なんかダルくん likes
五条先生。
五条先生 which is メインキャラクターの担任先生。私はなんだろうな、なんかパンダとか出てくるんですよ人間とはまた別で。まあそれもいろんなロングストーリーがあるんだけど、
Yeah.
なんか面白いんだよね。キャラが一人一人濃くて、でたまには涙出そうになるシーンもすごくあるし、なんか普通メインで出されてるキャラクターは、
Yeah.
こうなるであろうっていう自分の考えが覆されることばかり、ここのアニメでは。そうなっちゃって大丈夫なのとかこれで大丈夫みたいな。
Is that what you like about a show? Like, what is it that you are enjoying about watching?
多分今まで見てきたアニメの中で違うタイプの、違うタイプというか違うストーリーの成り行き方にハマってるんだと思う。一つちょっとネタバレしていい？
Probably, sure.
始まってすぐに 主人公にすごく大きなハプニングが起こるんですよ。
Yeah.
もうここまでにしとくね、言うのは。そのハプニングとかを見たときに、これ大丈夫なの？まだ始まったばっかだけど、
Yeah.
みたいな感じで、驚かされてばかり。
Yeah, so when you're watching a show or reading a book, there's certain things that the reader or the watcher expects. Like, for most people, the good guy wins. The main character doesn't die. The world, there isn't big things that happen in the world. Most bad things that happen are undone or are softened in the world, etc. And I think this show and story does a good job of not always following your expectations of what you think will happen in a show.
そうだから予想外な結末ばかりで、しかもそういう時に限ってそこで終わるじゃない、アニメって。まあ大体そうだけど、もう次見なきゃ、次見たいってなって、
Yeah.
時間がなくなります。
Yeah. It does a good job of explaining, like, the way the world changes due to the effects of something. Like,
そうね。
for example, when you're watching something like Dragon Ball, it's not like after Cell came, there was like some massive shift in humanity and the way they perceived superpowers, and like they just kind of brushed it off in the world building and said like, oh yeah, this thing happened and Hercule saved the day and blah blah blah, and didn't really talk about it. Whereas in Jujutsu Kaisen, like, there are like political and social and like cultural implications of the large things that happen in the show, which is interesting from like a world building storytelling perspective, because there are very large shifts in like the world itself. Anyways, what I like about the show is that kind of thing, the storytelling, the character building, and the way that the author is making a philosophical argument indirectly. Like, he clearly has thought about a lot of things and experienced a lot of things to be able to write what he's writing. And he does so in such a way where
more directly.
Yeah, it's almost like a confrontation to the viewer, where evil characters will be saying evil things that almost seem logical.
そうだね。
And you watch the main character evolve throughout the series. Like, he's dealing with a certain particular type of psychological limitation, or like a boundary of something he doesn't understand, a power he doesn't have. And as you go through the story, he's like breaking through higher and higher like philosophical problems of what does it mean to be strong, what does it mean to be powerful, where do I get, like, what is responsibility, what is my duty, what is evil, etc.
精神的成長がすごく見れるよね。
Yeah, and it's progressive too. It's not just like this one sudden change and you went from being a guy who doesn't understand anything to a guy that suddenly gets it. It's like there are all of these different like philosophical dilemmas that he has to reconcile with, which I find really interesting.
そうだね。上手に話せてる気がしないんだけど、まあ多分なんかそういうアニメとか今まで見たことある人は聞いたことある名前だと思うし、呪術廻戦ってすごく有名だから、だからぜひよかったら日本語でサブタイトル英語で見てほしいな、まだ見たことない人は。あと曲彼らすごくいろんな曲を使ってるけど、その中ですごく有名なキングヌーって人の曲を採用してて、でシーズン2の途中か最終かわからないけど、そのあたりからもう耳から離れない曲を流すんだよね。
The specials one?
Specials。そう、You are my special って言ってるんだけど、もうね、生活のどこかでなんか出てくるんだよ、その曲が。おすすめです。曲も知れるし、いい曲ね。
Yeah, it's good. I think you and I don't watch very much anime. We watched, I think, one other one last year, Osama Ranking, and then we caught up on Jujutsu Kaisen. I think that was it.
そううちらが見たことあるのは前ポッドキャストで一度話したけどハンターハンター
Yeah.
と今回の呪術廻戦とまあそんなに全然見終わってたりしてないんだけど王様ランキングっていうちょっと可愛らしいアニメ
Yeah.
とあとは一個あった気するんだけどなんかスパイファミリーだ
Oh, yeah.
その4つしかまだ分かんないんだけど
Yeah, we have not watched very much.
でも今回の呪術廻戦に関してはもう本当に私はハマっています、
I'm glad you like it. Those of you who've been listening to the podcast since last year might remember us talking about how Aoi visited Japan for about 2 months, and I was only there for 2 weeks or so.
そうそう
So I had quite a lot of extra free time on my hands, and for whatever reason, I just decided I was going to read Jujutsu Kaisen, the manga.
そうなのさ
I never read manga here. I don't think I've read any other manga since we've been together, really. It's the first one. And I just had extra free time and read through it really, really quickly, not for any particular reason other than I've been drawing a lot recently, I've been writing a lot recently, and I wanted to learn about what's going on in terms of like what kind of stories are popular right now
そうそう
and why are they popular.
あとなんかいろいろ広告とかでなんかショーアップしてなんか makes you watching にしたんでしょ
Yeah, so at that time I still had YouTube on my iPad, which I don't have anymore.
おお、そうなんだっけ
Yeah, so
忘れてた
I had been watching a lot of like not a lot of, but watching artist streams and like how-to videos and that kind of thing. And once in a while, things would get recommended to me that I don't know why they would. Like it was like a Jujutsu Kaisen fight scene or something. Just maybe because I had watched other like animation-related videos and that kind of thing. And just for whatever reason, I clicked on a couple of them and I thought it was kind of cool. And then I overheard somebody talking about it or something like that. And eventually I was like, all right, whatever, I'll read 2 chapters of the manga. And then a week later I had read like all of them.
そうらしいてか YouTube 消したんだね
Yeah, that was a long time ago
知ら
though.
なかった
That was like a couple months ago, I think.
わおいやそうそう本当になんかアニメ見る時間なかったらダル君みたいにバーって読める漫画形式でもいいし呪術廻戦は私たちのおすすめで
おすすめです。 I think I don't really have anything in particular to say other than
ネタバレ
I could say that. Definitely look into how it was written. It's really interesting how this guy who never shows his face and doesn't share his name just happened to write a couple of one-offs, and one of them took off, and then he turned it into a full series.
らしいその作者さんね
Yeah, so thank you guys for listening. If you have the time, if you have any interest in manga or anime, check out Jujutsu Kaisen.
はい You are my special 流れますのでちなみに彼のお兄さん見てなかったんですけど呪術廻戦を私たちがおすすめしたことによって見始めてすごくハマってこの間なんて1日でもう 10エピソードぐらい見たくらいハマって好きって言ってたからおすすめですし彼ら漫画じゃなくてアニメじゃなくて、映画もあるんで、
Yep.
すごく大きいアニメだからはい、聞いてくれてありがとうございました。
Thank you for listening. Please go enjoy. Send us recommendations. Message us on Instagram or send us an email. Let us know what you're watching or if you've watched Jujutsu Kaisen, what you thought. And we will see you in the next episode.
はい、お願いします。
お願いします。